Hey, welcome everybody to the Central Kentucky Computer Society. This is the All Things Apple Special Interest Group. We have three presentations tonight. We're starting with Joe Dukes. He'll be covering how to clear the clutter. Kurt is going to be talking about Safari extensions for the Mac. I'll be talking about Animojis and key photos tonight. And Janet is going to monitor the chat. So at this point in time, I'm going to turn it over to Joe.
Okay, thank you, Brookie. I get a lot of questions from people that they're concerned about their phone filling up with stuff. They've got too much stuff. So what's filling up? Let's talk about that in a minute. There's two different ways we talk about storage. One is iCloud storage, and we're not going to be talking about that tonight, but that's where everything on your phone is backed up if you have enough space up there that you've purchased. But tonight we're going to talk about your iPhone storage and how you may get rid of some stuff that is clogging up your phone. In the early days, when you bought a phone, you could get something like 16 megabytes or 32 megabytes or 64 megabytes of storage on your phone. Now those numbers have gone completely by. I think the lowest you can get right now is 128, and then it goes to 256, and then 512 megabytes of storage. That's a lot of storage, but still some people find they're running out of space. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can resolve that problem. And I'm going to switch to my iPhone and let me see here. I want to send something to you. Okay, in your messages, I just sent you a copy of the handout of what I'm doing in your Zoom messages in the chat box. And you can download that or do it later. You don't need to do it now unless you want to.
Joe, hit send again. Enter it.
I think you have to. I didn't do
it.
I didn't do it again. I did it the first time.
Oh, okay. It finally showed up.
Okay. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is share my screen and go to my iPhone. And if you're watching this on your computer and have your iPhone available, you can follow with me on those steps. So let me share my screen here. Okay, here we go. So everybody should see my screen there. Let me go over to my home page. And today we're basically going to be working out of our settings right here. Can you see my mouse, Brookie?
Yes.
Actually, let somebody else look. My screen has done something crazy.
So. Tiny little green.
So you can see it okay?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to be working out of settings here today and going from there. So the first thing I would like to do is go to my settings, and then I need to scroll until I find General, and I'll tap on that. And once I get to General, I'll be tapping on iPhone Storage. Now, when you see this screen here on my computer, on my iPhone, you can see up here, when I bought my phone, I bought 128 gigabytes of storage space. And then you can also see that I've used about 63 gigabytes of space. So this is my information from using this phone for several years. I've got, 4,000 or 5,000 pictures on here, lots of apps and stuff like that. So if you purchase large enough storage, maybe you won't have any problem. But if you are having problems with your storage, then take a look down here, and it says under my usage up here. It shows recommendations, and I've got a lot of apps on my phone that I try out. I never get around to erasing them, but it says offload unused apps, and it says I could save 12 gigabytes if I got rid of some apps that I'm not using. So that's one option of saving some space. The next one would be delete old conversations. And these are messages, and we'll get to that in a minute, but you can delete your old messages. And on mine, which I've never deleted any, I would save up to about almost 4 gigabytes of information. Now down here, underneath that, then you can see, let me scroll up here, the different apps and how much space they take. So if I went down here, for example, here is Merlin Bird ID, which I use every once in a while, but not too often. If I wanted to get rid of that, I could get rid of 1 gigabyte of information. So what's the easiest way to get rid of this stuff? Just take your finger on it, like I'm on Merlin ID, and I'll drag to the left, and I can say offload the app or delete the app. If you offload it, it keeps all your information. If you delete it, it gets rid of all your information. So anyway, take a look at some of the things down here. Try that again. If I wanted to get rid of this game called Tetris, I can just touch it and drag to the left, and I'm not going to delete it, but if I tap on this, it'll verify it. I want you to verify you want to get rid of it, and then it will delete it. And once you do that, you'll start seeing your story.
Where's your phone? Oh.
Hello?
Oh.
Yeah. Hi, Donna. Okay, so anyway, that is one way you can see to save some space. Let me go out of this and go back to my home screen. And the next thing I want to do is tap on photos. And let me go to all my photos. And here's photos. You can see down here, I've got nearly 6,000 photos and 66 videos. Now, do I need all those? Probably not. Some of these videos I took years ago, and I probably never will ever look at again, but they take up a lot of space. So you can go in and open your videos and start deleting those. Or you can also look at your photos and go down through there and take a look. Like this one here, this is one I made for the class. And if you don't want it, all you have to do is go down to the bottom of your screen. It's not showing right here, and hit on the trash can. It'll ask you to verify that you want to delete it, and then it'll be gone. So that takes a little bit of time and effort, but each one of those photos has a fair amount of space, and the videos also have a lot of space. So that's another thing. Another thing that's interesting, when you're in your photos, I'm going to go to my albums, and here's my albums. When you're on this screen here where it says albums at the top of the screen, if you start scrolling, just like I'm doing, and you go down under utilities and it says duplicates. For some reason or other, I've taken 2 pictures, maybe 2 right one after another that have virtually the same information, or I've duplicated some things over time. But once I click on this, it's going to tell me I've got 132 duplicate photos in here. Well, that's 132 hunks of space that you could be using for something else. So in this one here was a video of one of my students I was playing with. It's got 4 pictures that says are exactly the same. It may have a little bit of different data in them, but when it does this, it merges all the important data so you don't lose anything. So I'm going to go up here where it says merge and tap on merge. And then it will want me to verify it again. Apple's really good about making sure you approve what you're doing. And I'm going to merge the 4 items, and then they went away. So now I've only got 128 photos that are duplicates. So that's one way to save some space. Next, let's take a look at our messages. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my settings right here and tap on settings. And then I'm going to scroll until I find messages. Okay, here you can see messages. I'm going to tap on messages, and then I'm going to scroll some more. Oop. Let me see, I hit the wrong button here. Messages. And I'll scroll up here. I keep scrolling, and you notice here it says keep messages. Take a look at that. Keep messages. And you see mine says forever. So now I'm going to tap on forever. And you see I can keep them forever, for 1 year, or for 30 days. Your choice. Again, I've got a lot of room on my phone, so I'm not too worried about it. But if I ever was running short on space, I'd probably go down here and click on 1 year. One thing to remember about messages, a lot of times you'll get a message with a photo in it or a video. All those take up a lot of space. So you may be, if you need to capture that, go ahead and do that. But otherwise, you can cut it down to maybe 30 days or a year, and you'll free up some extra space. Okay. Now, let me go back to my home screen. And a couple other things to remember when you're, we had one student came in and was really having her phone was clogged up and didn't have any extra space. She's trying to download the new operating system, and it wouldn't do it. And I was looking at her phone with the numbers I showed you earlier, and her phone, she had 128 megabytes, but it was virtually full. And I'm trying to think, what could this be? And as we talked to her a little bit, we found out she had downloaded an app called Audible. And Audible downloads books for you. And she was a constant reader on her phone, and she had, I don't know how many books, but bunches of books, and she had saved them all. So once she started looking at them, she realized I really don't need to save these anymore. And she started deleting some of the books, and all of a sudden she found she had quite a bit of extra space. So that's another one. One more thing in your settings here for saving a little space is if you go to your settings, again, right here, tap on settings. And then we're going to scroll until we find Safari. And Safari, as I'm sure you know, it's your internet browser. And when you're using a browser, a lot of times it'll keep a little information about where you've been. So if you go back to that site, it can load quicker, and it also takes up some storage space on your phone. So we're going to tap on Safari, and then go down to where it says Clear History. Down here, see where it is blue, Clear History and Website Data. If I tap on that, it's going to ask me, do I really want to do that? And if you're needing to save space, or you want to just get rid of that information, this is a good place to do it. I don't worry about it too much because, again, I've got plenty of space and I like it to be as user-friendly as possible. Anyway, there was about 6 or 8 different suggestions on how you can, quote, clear the clutter. And if you have any questions about that, I'll be happy to take them. Remember to look at the chat and find the, where to go. Anyway, I put in a clear the clutter and download that to your computer, and you'll have all my notes that I used for presenting this class. So any questions?
Joe?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Kim Pratt. How you doing?
Good. Thank you.
So one thing I've noticed, and maybe you can help me, understand this is when I delete a photo, it doesn't actually go off the phone. It goes into a recently deleted file.
That's
So
correct.
how do we get rid of if we do the delete function, how do we actually get rid of it off the phone?
Okay, well, take a look at my phone here, and I'm going to go up here and tap on my photos, and I'll go back to my albums and recents, and let me see. Okay, here's my recents, and if I wanted to get rid of this picture right here, I'm going to click on it and break it up like that. Actually, that's a picture of one of my home screens. And then at the bottom of your screen, you'll find the trash can. And I'll tap on the trash can. And it's going to ask me, do you really want to delete this? And I'm going to say yes. Now, it's still on my phone? Yes. Can I get rid of it? Yes. So let's go back and go to albums again. And now we're back. Your phone should look like mine with albums up here at the top. And what we're going to do is start scrolling and scrolling and scrolling until you get down to the bottom where it says recently deleted. And I'll tap on that. And here's all photos that I've recently deleted. And what I can do is I can hit on select, and then I can select the ones I want and hit delete. And then once I hit this one, they're gone forever. They're going out of your cloud. They're going out of your phone. If they're on their iPad or your Mac, they're gone forever. So I'm going to hit delete, and you notice they're gone now. The reason they have this in here, Ken, is in their history, they found sometimes somebody will delete something, and then they want to recover it. So they give you 30 days to recover it. And I don't know whether you can see it very well here, but on mine, you can see here, this one's got 28 days left. This one has, let me scroll up here a little ways. This one has 22 days left. So you can go through there and actually clear your phone of them. That work?
Thank you.
Okay. Jerry, unmute, Jerry.
Okay. I got lost. When you went to photos, how did you get the duplicates? Where did you?
Okay, when you're in your photos, you're going to tap on albums, and you should have this screen up, and the see all should be here. You don't touch that. And then you start scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and down here you'll find duplicates.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
You find it?
No, I haven't. I wasn't looking, but I'm on my phone. I'm not.
Okay, that should do it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. I got it. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Madam President,
This is Donna, and I do have a question.
Yes.
I don't like when I go to my pictures and they're all in albums. I want to see the last picture I took. It seems
Okay,
like I
then
have to go back to my camera and go down to the library at the bottom and go backwards. I know there's got to be an easier way.
Oh, yes, there is. When you're in your
Okay.
photos, let me open my photos. When you open your photos, let's just say for this one, you're seeing photos that are in that album. Now, if you want to see all of your photos, down at the bottom of your screen here, you can see where it says albums. And if I tap on that, then on my screen here, it'll say albums. And I'm going to click on that. Let me get rid of this one picture. It's causing me some consternation. Okay. So anyway, I'm in my photos in albums, and let me close that out and open it back up. So here's my photos. You've got all these albums. What you want to do, Donna, is look at the one that says recents on it. And if you open this one, this folder here, it shows you all your pictures you've taken. This was the last one, next to the last, and so forth. But
So
you have to go
the
to the
last
folder
one-
that is called Recents.
Okay, is it the last, in recent, is the last photo the bottom of this picture
Yes.
on your phone or the very top?
The bottom.
The bottom. Okay, that's probably why I never see what I'm looking for. So I go back to the camera and go to the library backwards that way. Okay, thank you. Did you all
Okay.
update to iOS 17?
I haven't done it yet. I didn't want to do it before this class. I didn't know
Okay,
what it was going to do to me.
all right.
But I'll be downloading it here in the next few days. Brookie pointed out we're going to be teaching some new classes on the iPhone and the iPad. And so this has come out. So we're going to have to get ourselves knowledgeable about the changes.
All
And
right.
if you're still having any trouble with this, Donna, feel free to come in on Saturday.
I live in Washington State. I don't think I can make it to Kentucky
Oh, come on.
early enough in the morning, guys.
It's just a short flight. Come on.
All
right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Quit talking. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Rookie.
Okay, go ahead and stop sharing. And we will stop sharing your screen and we will turn it over to Kurt.
I think Linda and Ken should come from Washington State, personally.
Well,
I'm kidding.
Ken and Linda, are you all from Washington State also?
I'm giving them a hard time. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, we're actually from the metropolis of Frankfort, Kentucky.
Oh, big city.
Well, at least you're the right direction toward Washington State as opposed to somewhere else. So anyway,
you could just have said Frankfurt and we might have thought Germany.
yeah, exactly. And isn't it Oktoberfest time anyway?
Yeah,
Well,
right.
we find a way we can celebrate it anywhere.
Right. For
That's
sure.
a good way to live, I think, actually. Well, let me show
Okay.
you
Go, Kurt.
a little bit. I have a little cat here who's wanting attention. So if I'm interrupted by a little squeal, it's not me, it's the cat. I just felt the need to share that. I'm going to talk a little bit about Safari on the Mac, Safari on the iPhone, and Safari on the iPad. Let me share my screen with you real quickly here. And this is really an old Mac. Can you see my screen here cluttered up with right here?
Yeah, we got it.
Yes, we got it.
Okay. Well, this is Safari, and I've opened it ahead of time because it's so slow on this old machine that I just went ahead and opened it. Now, when you're using Safari on any of Apple's products, you can install what are called extensions. And extensions are little tiny apps that do different things. They're very specific. They don't do a bunch of things. They probably do one item, but they do them pretty well. A lot of people download extensions to get ad blockers. I probably saw my first ad when I was a little tiny kid watching Bonanza on Sunday night on NBC. My dad had just gotten a new color TV, an RCA, and that's the first memory of ads. I figure in my lifetime so far, I've seen enough ads. I don't need to see any more. So I use ad blockers all the time on both Firefox, Safari, and a browser called Brave. But anyway, let me show you here. I'm in Safari here on a Mac. I'm going to click on Safari on the upper corner in the menu bar, and I'm going to come down to Safari Extensions. Come on, you can do it. You can load. Come on. Sorry, I'm talking to this computer. It's an old vintage computer, slow. Anyway, when I click on Safari Extensions, it opens up the Mac App Store. These are all extensions for Safari that you can download. Some of them are free. Some of them they want money. There's quite a few of them. You can type up here in the search blank. I would type like ad blocker. You can make it one word or two words, whatever. And there are all kinds of ad blockers for the Safari browser. Okay, these are all ad blockers that you can download right here. And if it says under Get, if it says in-app purchases, they either want money for the full-blown version, or it's dummied down. They give you a free version and it doesn't do all the features. It doesn't complete all the features that a money version that you pay for does. I'm not saying that very well, but anyway, if you've got a little cloud with an arrow, it means I've downloaded it in the past and it's not installed. But if you scroll through here, there are just tons of ad blockers for Safari. And it shows you how much people want to block ads because they're all over the place. When I look at a news site like the Washington Post and it's not on my computer, it's on somebody's computer or iPad, I'm amazed at the number of ads because I don't see those because I use ad blockers to block them. If you're interested in a particular ad blocker, like this one is free, you can click on the name. It gives a score out of 5, 3.8 out of 5. It tells you how long it's been in the App Store. It tells you the name of the software developer, how big it is. And you scroll down and it gives you a view of what it looks like. And it gives you an idea of what people have to say. They give it a 3.8 rating out of 5. And here's what people had to say about the different ad blocker. And you keep going and it says, the developer does not collect any data from this app. Data not collected. So when you're on websites, they don't collect anything, don't collect any information. This happens to be one ad blocker that's available that you could download if you wanted to. And this one happens to be free. But anyway, you go on and on, there's still more. But anyway, I wanted to show you this because a lot of people don't realize you don't have to look at all the ads when you're on different websites. CNN, I don't visit them very often, just because I don't. I go to like the Washington Post and some other websites. Axios, AXIOS is a news site, well-regarded website, filled with ads. And I understand they have to have ads to be able to make money, but I think I've seen enough in my lifetime. So once again, open Safari, go to Safari extensions if you want to download more extensions. If you want to see the ones that are installed, click on Preferences and let's see, click on Extensions right here. I'm trying to see it under the, there we go. These are the few that I've got installed for Safari. Not very many, because you have to be careful. You have to look who created this, what does it do, and do you really need it? Wiper is one that gets rid of ads, trackers, that kind of thing, and it's like $1.99 or something, and I bought it. Fake Spot, if you're buying something or interested in buying something from Amazon, Best Buy, or several other online sites, you can go to fakespot.com and you can paste in the URL from Amazon, the website address for a particular product, and it tells you whether or not the reviews on Amazon are valid. Are they all bogus? Or are they actually legitimate? So you can go to fakespot.com and get a review of the reviews. Or you can install, like I do this in Safari, install a small extension. And when you go to an Amazon website, FakeSpot comes up in the corner and it tells you whether gives them a grade, A to F, A to F, whether or not the reviews of that product are any good. But these are the ones I have installed. Here are this is one website. This happens to be a company called Pro Privacy. And back in April, they wrote an article about what they consider to be the best ad blockers for the Mac. The 5 they like, one called Total Ad Block, which costs money, $242 a month. They really like it. Second one is something called AdLock. Most of these are in the App Store. You just search for them. If they're not, you can go and do a search on the web. They like AdGuard. I have AdGuard. I actually bought it on another Mac I have. They have iOS versions. It's really good. It tells you how much space you've saved because you're not downloading all these graphics. when you visit websites. One blocker they recommend, and finally one called Wiper, which I have installed. Regarding the iPhone and the iPad, you can do the same on these. You can get extensions to customize Safari to block ads or whatever you want to do. And I sent all of you in the chat link at the bottom of Zoom where it says chat. I sent you 2 articles, 2 items. One is this one right here from Apple, the website, telling you how you can install extensions on your phone or on your iPad. And I sent you one for the Mac too. It's very simple to install extensions. Just do your homework and make sure you're installing something that's good, that's not some rogue character out there that wants to trace your web visits, that kind of thing. And that's basically it. It also tells you how to remove an extension. But more and more people are using extensions because they want to block junk. And I block ads because I don't figure I need to see them any more than I've already seen. Because as you know, some websites are just filled with ads. But anyway, these extensions really help cut down on all that stuff, which I figure I don't need to see anyway. So anyway, anybody have any questions? Okay, Berkey?
I do. It's real quick. I thought Brave, I use Brave as my browser.
Sure.
And I thought it blocked all the ads. I don't remember having to add an extension.
Donna,
I blocked them.
I think it does by itself. I think Brave is unique in that it does block a lot of them.
Okay.
So if you go to a website and you don't see ads and you know there should be ads there, it's probably doing its job, because I use Brave also.
So do you use Brave with your iPhone or do you use Safari?
I have actually the browser on everything that I have that I like more than anything is probably Firefox. But Firefox is available for the iPad, the iPhone. You get it from the App Store. There are 2 different versions of Firefox. One's called Firefox Privacy, and one is regular Firefox. Firefox Privacy does not remember anything. It doesn't remember. It doesn't take cookies. Doesn't keep your cookies automatically, and it doesn't remember where you went. So it doesn't have a history at all. Firefox, the regular version, is just like a regular browser on the iPad or the iPhone or the Mac or Windows or Linux for that matter. There is a downside to Firefox in that some websites don't accept it. I was on a state website in Frankfurt, speaking of Frankfurt, I think it was last year, and I tried for about a half hour to log into this website, and I said, what is going on? Finally, I called and talked to a really nice woman in state government, and she said, yeah, that website, our website for this cabinet does not work with Firefox. I said, oh, well, so they have to, these websites have to build, they have to build for these different browsers, and they don't want to spend the money. So anyway. Rookie?
Okay, any more questions for Kurt? Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and share my iPhone with you all. Okay, everybody see it?
Yep, you're sharing.
Perfect. All right, so what I'm going to be sharing today is how to make animated memojis, and then I'll be talking also about the key photo. Last month, a lot of you were with us, and I showed you how to make memojis. And memojis are basically stickers, and you can make an avatar, and I'll show you some in a minute. This month, I'm showing you how to animate them so you can send them in messages and they can actually talk and make movement. So we're going to do that. I've added the instructions in chat screen, so you can download that at your convenience also. If you did not make a Memoji last month, then there are other Memojis actually already on your iPhone or your iPad, and you can follow along with me. I'm showing this to you on the iPhone because not all devices can make an animated Memoji or an Animoji. You have to have one that has facial identification abilities. And that basically is the iPad Pro and the iPhones that are 10 and above. All right. So if you have an older one, it's just not going to work. Okay. So it's basically just 5 steps to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open into a message, a text message. And this actually works. You know, you can send it to an Android. And I did that with my grandson the other day. And he said, you know, just to test, because I thought maybe it just went from iPhone to iPhone or to Apple to Apple. So last month, we had, I actually want to stop sharing because you can't see. Well, no, I guess you can see it. I'm sorry. Okay, so these were the Memojis we made last time. And so the first step you do is you go down here and you've got 2 icons. One icon is your apps icon. If you tap that, then it will show you all of your apps. So if on your phone you're not seeing that, you can tap that icon right there. All right. And then when we go here, we can slide that over and you'll notice the names of the different apps come up, and one right there is the Memoji. All right. So we're going to tap that one. And then as you see here, I have 3 avatars. All right. But then they also give you a mouse, octopus, a cow, a giraffe, and actually there are 30 avatars that you can get. All right. So you notice that when I'm talking, if you see me actually in the Zoom gallery and you see this shark, you notice that it's moving its head with my head. All right. We're going to go back to my avatar and we'll do it with one of my avatars. Okay. So if I look down, I can look up, I can smile, I can talk. See, it's all animated, but it's reflecting what I'm doing. All right. So if you want to send something to someone, a message, let's do a couple here. I'm going to do this one. When I first started playing with this, I couldn't figure out why it looked so mean, but I think it was because I was just trying to figure it out. All right. So let's start with one that has a lot of emotion, okay? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I hope we can still be friends. Okay, so before you do that, you need to go ahead and press this record button. Hi, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I hope we can still be friends. And then you top.
Hi, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I hope we can still be friends.
Okay, so did everybody hear that? Okay,
Yeah.
so it came through. So that once you finish that, then you have this blue arrow and you just tap it. It's thinking about it. And there it is. It's up in the message. And then the person who receives it, in mine, I have to tap this muted speaker.
Hi, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I hope we can still.
Okay, so it's pretty fun. So let's do it again. We're going to go to the message. We're going to tap on the Memoji. Okay. We'll go with another one. And then I will go down here to the record button and I will tap it. And then I'll say, happy birthday. I hope you have a great day.
Happy birthday. I hope you have a great day.
And I press this button right here and it will put it in the message and send it. But I have to tap that for you to hear it. It's not gonna come through.
Now we heard the other one.
Happy birthday. I hope you have a great day.
Okay. All right. So that's how you make an emoji. And you've got the steps in chat. So go ahead and download those and you'll have them. Okay. So now the second thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to select a key photo. All right. In a live photo. So let's just talk about a couple of things. One is, what's a live photo? I think everybody probably has made a live photo. All right. I'm going to set this on here so that we can concentrate on just the controls up here. This icon right here controls whether or not the photo that you take is a live photo or not. So if you tap it, it says live and it's going to make a live photo. But if you don't want your photos to be live, you can tap it and live is off. Okay. So that's how you control whether it's a live photo or not. So what is a live photo? A live photo is actually a 3-second video. And it is 1.5 seconds before you touch the shutter, and it records 1.5 seconds after you have hit the shutter. So it's 3 seconds altogether. And then the iPhone or the iPad decides what the picture that they're going to show you looks like. And it may not be what you want. In a live photo, there are actually 45 different frames. And so it picks one of the frames. And so in this case, this little girl is brushing her teeth, but it's blurry. It's not a very good photo, but it is a live photo. I'm going to actually switch over here to, okay. Because of Zoom, some of the controls don't show through when you're actually in your camera, in your photo app. So I took a screenshot just so you could see the different controls. So what I want to do is I want to look at all the 45 frames and decide which one I really want, because this one's not going to do very well. So the first step is that when you have selected a live photo, you see it's live up here, you hit edit. Okay, I'm going to go back to live. So I have edit up here. You just can't see it. And I'm going to tap edit. And when I tap edit, all of these controls come up. And here is a control down here. I see the control there. That's the live icon, live photo icon. And you can edit it. So when you tap that, then you get all the different frames in that live photo. So I'm going to move, see the frame that it has is this white frame around here. But I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to kind of just roll through them so that you can see them. I'll go to the very front one and then I'll roll back. Okay. So. Okay. So the first one, it's kind of blurred. So then I can just take my finger and keep going until I find one that I think is the one that I want, that it's actually in focus and it's kind of cute, right? So I can let go of it and then make key photo. I tap that, and now that is the key photo that will show up in my albums. Okay, so I'm going to hit done. All right, and so then when I go back to that album, you'll notice now my key photo is this photo. It's not this one anymore. And I can go ahead and print that or send it to somebody. Okay? All right. That is making a key photo, how you choose it. It's really simple. It's just 5 steps. But you'll actually find some really cute photos that you have that are live photos that you can pick which one will be the key photo. So let me pause here and see if we have any questions.
I do. It's Donna again. Would you delete then, if you pick the best photo, how do you delete the live photo? All those pictures that take up space.
You're not really going to delete them. And I don't, I have tried to do this on Zoom. I'm going to go back to this one here. And you can't see my controls up here, but up here in the top corner, it says live with a caret. I'll show you that there's a still picture. Okay. And when you tap on that caret right there, you will have a variety of options. And the options are, they're not showing on here, are live, loop, bounce, long exposure, and then you can turn it off. But I don't know if it really saves much space when you turn it off. That I don't know. But you can turn the live off.
Well, I do know when we had them up in the cloud and we were downloading, that live photos, it's not read like by other operating systems. You have to get an app to switch everything over to even see them. So that's why I was asking if there's a simple way to get rid of that and just keep the still that you wanted. But doesn't sound like it yet.
I tell you what I have done, but Joe, you might have another one, another option. But what I have done is I've done actually a screenshot. So then I have a still photo that's just a photo, and then I've deleted the live photo.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure you've, tapped it so that it's the full screen and you don't have to edit it. But
Brookie,
that's about the easiest. Yes.
I think you can actually edit that down so it's just one photo. If you go back to your editing, where you have all the different frames at the bottom. Okay, you see little carrots down there on both ends. Drag those in towards that one.
That's a very good point, because you can actually trim your live photo. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of editing that you can do, and I just didn't show those tonight, but there are a lot of them. I don't seem to be able to get it down past there.
You can get it down to those 3.
To those 3?
And that'll save you some room as far as your save.
Okay, great. Thank you, Larry. So that's an option, and there are other editing tools as well. But for tonight, I was just leaving it to doing the key photo. Donna, does that help you?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you, Larry, for adding that.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Yes, Jerry.
I guess I've been taking live photos every now and then without realizing I'm doing it. How do you turn that on and off?
Okay, so when you're in your camera, all right, see this icon right here at the very top?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, TS?
Right up here. See this icon right here?
I'm not.
At the
It
That
top
looks
right
like a
of the
bullseye, Jerry.
that one. Okay, I've got you.
Okay.
That one.
That is the icon for live. And if you tap it, you can turn it on and you can turn it off.
Well, right now I just went to. Well, I'm in slow motion. Let's go to regular photo. All right, I see it up there. So if I touch that, it will be a live photo then. Now tell me why would I want that?
Well, there's lots
My
of
an-
different reasons. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, she'll have a different answer than I will, but my answer is you don't.
Thank you.
I've opened some people's phones and found they have like 1,000 live photos. And again, it takes up space. They're videos, they're not pictures. And people just don't know that they've done that. So I always tell everybody, make sure there's a dash, a line through that bullseye, unless you want to make sure if you want to get a live photo.
And how do
Yeah.
you put the dash through it?
Touch it.
You just touch it. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Lights off. Okay.
So you just have to pay attention, and sometimes it switches off. But I went to the Van Gogh live, the 3D thing that they had, and I was able to take live photos of that, and it just had a little bit of movement in it. Or if you have a kid that's really cute waving, you may want to have it. It's sort of like a GIF that you can use to send. So, but you should be able to, up here is your control. And sometimes
Okay.
it flips off and you end up having live photos.
Thank you. That's what I want to know. Thank you.
Okay.
Good job.
All right. Any other questions before I quit sharing my screen? Okay.